Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a very special episode of the Skylanders Carryon Locke channel, because today is the debut of the last chapter of the Locke. We are of course referring to none other than the Imaginators portion of the series, so this is the chapter that brings it all to a close, and as per the norm, we are going to be carrying over all the characters that survived from Superchargers, so you can see those on screen now. But it's not only the characters that got carried over from previous games that are going to be part of our roster, because we also have to determine one brand new representative for each of the elements, and they're going to be determined as per the norm by sheer and utter chance. I have a random name of wheels here, and plugged into said random name of wheels are all of the characters yet to have been selected by the random name picker, as well as an Imaginator for each element. So there is a 1 in 14 chance or 15 chance of getting an Imaginator in a particular element. Obviously, for chances where it's 1 in 15 are the tech and life elements, where we have the additional guest stars in the form of Crash Bandicoot and Dr. Neo Cortex. But that does also increase the odds of those wheels picking a sensei at the very least, and we really want senseis and Imaginators going into this series, because Nightmare Mode Imaginators is very tough with the older Skylanders that we have being carried forward that have survived this point up to the Locke. So without further ado, let's find out what our magic representative is going to be. And I do have here as well, below Splat, Big Bubble Pop Fizz selected rather than regular Pop Fizz, and that's because if we load it into the game with a revamped version of the Superchargers, if they are defeated in battle, we simply revert to the original versions. So Big Bubble Pop Fizz gets defeated in battle, we revert to his original. So yes, without further ado, we're going to be spinning that wheel right now, and our brand new magic representative is not going to be a Spyro's Adventure character, because we have no more Spyro's Adventure characters left. But we are going to get another Trap Team character. The Magic Element only has representatives from 2 different games, because Enigma is a Trap Master. Very interesting to get another Trap Master added to the cast, especially since most of them were killed off in Trap Team. The only remaining one is Gusto, who was selected for the Air Element during the Superchargers run of the series. So yes, it's very cool to have a second Trap Master added to the cast. But next up, we're going to move on to the Earth Element. So let's spin that wheel and have our fingers crossed for a Sensei or an Imaginator. The odds of not getting a single Sensei or an Imaginator are very slim. In fact, the odds are best for the Dark Element. But speaking of Trap Masters, we have the most busted one. It only took us 3 goes around of the Earth Wheel to finally attain Wallop for the Earth Element. How very exciting indeed. But next up comes the Water Element. So yes, Dark has the best odds of a Sensei or an Imaginator. But for Water Element, oh, it was so close to Grave Clubber. We're getting Deep Dive Gilgrunt instead, which is still fantastic, because we have his supercharged form, Deep Dive Gilgrunt, one immediately loaded into the game, since he is the one, obviously, on random name picker. But then after that, we revert to his original. Wait a second, his original is replaced by the Elite in Trap Team, because it's got the exact same moves as the original, it's got the exact same figurine and posing as the original. Therefore, it's the original, just on steroids, and in Imaginators, Elites play kind of like how the original characters should play, because Elites a buffed up version of Course. For Course, it got nerfed, means that the Elites represent a form of the Skylander that the game should have had for regular versions as is. So Elite Gilgrunt is going to be busted, and even should he be defeated in battle, we have his mini form afterwards. So Deep Dive Gilgrunt is 3 lives in 1, because we revert to the original if Deep Dive Gilgrunt is defeated, and then we revert to the mini if the original is defeated. That is how the tier system works in this series. But next up is the Fire Element. Go on, give me a Sensei. These Senseis are fantastic. Or we could alternatively get another Supercharger. So far, it seems as though the only names from random wheel of names seems to like are either Trap Masters or Superchargers. So there's a Spitfire being added to the cast. It also really loves starter pack characters, I've noticed. But now for the Tech Element, this is one of the elements where we have 15 characters to select from, because of the guest stars taken into account. But we're getting none of the Senseis of guest stars, because instead we're getting Chopper, a brand new Trap Team core. He is very much welcome to the cast. Chopper is excellent, even in Imaginators, he's one of the better cores. Now for the Undead Element, we're getting the final Spyro's Adventure representative for the Undead Element, it seems, Hex. Magic and Undead have one thing in common, and that's the fact that the random name picker just loves Spyro's Adventure characters. But Hex is great, seeing as she also has a miniaturized form to fall back upon should the original be defeated in battle. So now Cinder has her Spyro's Adventure companion Hex alongside her. And we're getting the secondary Trapmaster Thunderbolt being added to the cast. That's awesome. He's a great character. Again, even in Imaginators, that's no exception. So finally, the life element. Come on, I really needed an Imaginator or a Sensei to give me some sort of hope in Imaginators. You know, never mind, Bubble Blast will do. Again, definitely one of the most broken cores. If we got him all the way back in Swap Force, he probably would have one-shot all of the games leading up to this moment anyway. So yes, Bumble Blast is fantastic. I would have preferred a Sensei still, but I guess I'll take what I'm given. And now here comes our only chance at getting either an Imaginator or a Sensei. It's for Dark Element. There is a 25% chance of getting Nightfall as well, so fingers crossed that's one we don't get. Even though Random Name Wheels does seem to have some sort of bias towards Superchargers, for some reason. So without further ado, who are we going to get for Dark Element? We're going to get a Sensei or an Imaginator at long last. Is this finally going to happen? Keep it going, keep it going. Yes! Oh, we got an Imaginator. That is great. We really needed this, especially since the Imaginators have the opportunity to fight Doomlanders, and if an Imaginator is fighting Doomlander, it's far less likely that the cores are going to get abolished by them, because that's the thing, the cores can get through Imaginators generally just fine. It's the boss fights they struggle with, but Imaginators always have to go against the bosses in this game because of how the element of the area system works. So having an Imaginator in place of a core is going to be very, very advantageous for us. So it's time for the last chapter of the Skylanders carryon Locke to officially commence. We're talking, of course, about none other than Skylanders Imaginators, where the black screens on the gameplay is going to become extremely apparent in my face cam, you know, based on the juxtaposition of the light and the dark emanating from the TV in those moments. The TV right ahead of me, where we have 3 different save files to select from. We're obviously going to go over an empty slot here where we can begin with our nightmare run on the game. And I'm not too scared about the regular levels because we have tested this out before, playing cores throughout the entirety of Imaginator's Battle Mode to see just how tough the whole ordeal can be. We did that on stream, and what we discovered from that little experiment is that the boss fights are absolute, like, core slaughterhouses. They don't stand a chance against boss fights. Luckily, that's where our Dark Creation Crystal comes in, because all of the boss fights have areas where Imaginators are stronger in that zone, and as per the traditional Locke rules, we must swap out to a Skylander corresponding to the current element of the area and cannot swap out until the element of the area changes once more. We have skipped over for Unnecessary Deep Stew already by press best button video game, and we go for press best button video game to pressing one of the best Skylanders of all time upon the Portal of Power. Now, once I can find him on my bed beside me. I'm of course talking about Deep Dive Gilgrunt, because we might as well start off with a water Skylander, given that water is the first element to appear in this game as an element of the area. So yes, we learned that regular combat isn't too bad for the cores, and certain characters in this game are still pretty busted. Bumble Blast is still pretty good, Zap is still pretty good, but unfortunately we lost him to the Darkness and Superchargers. He was not carried over into this game. Deep Dive Gilgrunt is good against Chompies, but then again, pretty much anyone is good against Chompies. I want this treasure chest for no other reason than just for the sheer utter fact that I want it. So yes, it's the boss fights that we should really be fearing in this game, but luckily for us, this is where that Dark Imaginator comes in. But there are still some really tough combat sections in this game that will likely take out a couple of cores or so on. For instance, the abandoned amusement park, when we have that big light section to deal with, that's likely going to take down a couple of cores at least. I mean, do I think Astro Blast is going to stand a chance to solo shot on that entire section of Night Mode? In a word, no. No, I do not. So let's continue to get out of here, because we can do abilities such as this ranged one. Yes, take my lightning to the face. And now that we have, of course, initiated the whole tidal wave notion, we can, from there, use our dash ability, and then our somersaulting ability. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Dash is pretty fun. Let's get these chompies out of... Wow, I defeated them quicker than I was expecting. Can't quite talk in tune with the game, apparently. But here comes our first piece of Imaginator, and as we learned from grinding this level out time and time again during the Imaginator Soul Seeker series, and by the way, this is the same global save Skylanders Imaginator Soul Seekers, which is why when we were selecting the file earlier, we saw that 100% save file at the top. That is the same save file we use for the majority of the run through this game, when we seeked out souls, so to say. So yes, because it's the same global save, means that all of the Imaginite carries over for maximum level cap for my Imaginator carries over. So he can go all the way up to 59. He's not quite at level 59 as of just yet, but by the time he's defeated enough Doomlanders, he will certainly have made his way there. But that first Imaginite chest, the first Imaginite chest of the game, is one of the only predetermined Imaginite chests in the entirety of the game, because it is guaranteed to be a random common weapon for any one of the 10 given battle classes in this game, because they want to start you off by showcasing like what kind of new weaponry you can unlock for Skylanders, or Imaginators I should say, of any particular battle class. So yes, they start you off with common weapons, because those you can equip to your Imaginators straight away, and it's most likely that up to this point in the game your Imaginators are not going to be at level 6 just yet, so you might as well give them some gear that they can take advantage of straight away. It's a brawler train. Shrine? What the fuck is a shrine? It's like a combination between a shrine and a train. I made a new thing, guys. But yes, we can't exactly access said shrines because we have no sense trains. Yeah, we're just gonna make it all train themed. Stop killing me! We're gonna lose Deep Dive Gilbert in episode 1 of this rate. Like, even Zach was better than this. Then again, this is Zach we're talking about here. I'm not surprised that Zach was better than this. I'm so sad he's gone. We should have sacrificed Whamshell instead. Do I think Whamshell could have made it through the Chaos boss fight? No. No, I don't. But at least then it would have left Zach defenseless against the darkness. And yes, I say defenseless because there's literally nothing you can do against those freaking Shadow Guardians. If Shadow Guardians don't exist, then I guarantee that the darkness is a doable boss fight without deaths. Because the rest of the boss fight is not that bad. Dodging spiky things in the portal network is not that bad, especially given the burn cycle with its maneuverability and smaller hitbox. If you don't have the hop trick on the other hand, then you're kind of screwed. But the Shark Tank is also pretty good in that fight, and it is a shame this character's level 20 already, because otherwise we might have even healed up by leveling up. But this guy has got to survive the entire level up to the Sorcerer Doomlander, where of course we can finally swap out for our Imaginator. It's a long time coming. Do I think he can do it? Hopefully he can do it, because this would be the first time in Carry-On history where we don't get through the level completely unscathed, the first level that is. But this is going to be an interesting playthrough, because we're going to break this series up by taking advantage of the Sensei round. So we're pretty much going to be doing more or less 2 levels an episode. So today's episode is going to be obviously Cradle of Creation and Mushroom River. Once we're done with the 2 of them, next episode is going to be the Fire and Water realm, because opposites attract, I suppose. Yes, after the Fire and Water realm, we're going to go back to the traditional regular levels of this game. So we'll do both Scholarville and Shellnut Shores. I'm looking forward to that episode in particular, because those are 2 fantastic levels back to back. Some of the best in the game, in fact. Okay, let us go on ahead and grab all of these. Yes, there we go. But the question is, which half of the game is better? Is it the first 5 levels or the last 5 levels? I would say on average the first 5 levels are probably better, because Dragon Temple really brings down the average of the last few levels for me, so does Chaos' Lair. But if you're talking about the absolute like best this game has to offer for peak level design, those go to both Abandoned Amusement Park and the Golden Arcade. So I think the latter half of the game definitely has like just better levels, but if we're talking on a more average scale, then yes, the first half of the game in this instance is definitely better. Superchargers, the first half of the game is better basically in both both definitions, so to say, both on average and just it having better levels in general. Because yes, I love the first half of Superchargers. They have some fantastic levels there. I mean, one of them you ride along the back of a dragon, for Pete's sake. You can't go wrong with that. I do love me a dragon. Trap Team, the entire game is good, so I can't really say that one half is better than the other. Swap Force for the second half is definitely much better than the first. It's got a lot more creativity poured into it. The difficulty ups up, but at a nice progressive rate. And the mini games become a lot more interesting. By that I mean the swap zones, because the swap zones again they get upped in difficulty a bunch as well. So it's just a more fun, greater, well-rounded experience for the second half of the game. That being Swap Force. Giants again, the whole game is good. I can't really say that one half is better than the other. And in as far as adventure, the second half of the game is definitely better than the first half. The first half, like most notable sections, are definitely like Stormy Stronghold and Stone Town for me. But then, if you look at the second half of the game, you have freaking Cadaverous Crypt, you have Creepy Citadel, Lava Lakes Railway, Quicksilver Vault. Should I go on? Okay, let's get ourselves back down. So we did bypass the Battle Gong entirely, but when the random name picker gives you no sensays whatsoever, it's particularly difficult to tackle those challenges with no sensei to boot. But regardless, the Imaginators are stronger here. I did miss that for a while. So without further ado, let's introduce for the first time on screen Hanoon. It's my Dark Imaginator. He's going to come in and absolutely obliterate these fools. Oh, I bet now they wish they could go back to facing off against Tidal Wave Kilgrim, because this is a very sharp juxtaposition in terms of how obliterative we can be. I enjoyed that very much so. Let's get building a bridge, folks. Oh, I do like me a good bridge here and there. So one thing we have been doing throughout the entirety of this level thus far is collecting treasure chests. That's not gonna end anytime soon. I want this treasure chest. This treasure chest is mine. After all, it's a chest of treasure. You can't go wrong with a chest of treasure. Boom, baby. Though we didn't collect any of the soul gems because this is, despite me having referenced soul seekers earlier, this is no soul seeking series. And that series actually came to a close about 3 weeks ago, because the last 6 episodes went live back to back to back, because I recorded them all the way in January and it took me all the way up until April to edit them all. But yes, that was one hell of a series. It lasted much longer than I ever anticipated, but you know what, because we drawn out a bit, we really appreciate every last second that little bit more. Plus, given the unpredictability of the schedule at times, it made it exciting just to think, will he upload? Will he upload? But will he? No, he didn't upload. But will he upload? No, he didn't upload. Now it's generally most weeks where I didn't upload most weeks. Yeah. It's a good thing that at the end I even changed the description of the videos to basically parallel the new schedule that those last 6 episodes took up, because yes, to make up for the fact that I literally missed about 4 months worth of uploads, we did upload all those back to back to back, and just because I wanted to get the series out of the way already so then I could focus on other things. So at the end of the day I have plans following this series. Even this series is I've got something planned for afterwards, and the quicker we get through Imaginators the better, because this is not my favourite game. It's not most people's favourite Skylanders game, far from it. There are very few people I know who claim this to be their favourite. But to be fair, you could say any Skylanders game is your favourite, and I could definitely instantly understand your position, where you're coming from, because each of these games have their own merits behind them. That's why we love this franchise. At the end of the day, this franchise never pumped out what I would deem as a bad game. All of the games are objectively good, and they're all good in different ways, which is why people have different favourites to begin with, because you're going to prefer certain aspects of gaming in general, and whatever aspects of gaming you prefer, whichever Skylanders game kind of is tailored to that area, is what you're going to enjoy most. If you enjoy storytelling games most, you probably gravitate more towards Superchargers. If you like games from a purely gameplay standpoint, then you probably prefer Imaginators or Trap Team. If you like level design, Giants probably has the best level design. Giants and Trap Team once again. Trap Team comes up commonly as people's favourite Skylanders game, just because it absolutely smashed it in most areas. The game is just fantastic, end of story, which would explain as to why I am pretty certain that Trap Team is the highest rated Skylanders game on IGN. Not that IGN is a reliable source for gaming journalism and reviews there, mind you, but still, the statement I just made was factual. Whether you agree with it or not is something different altogether. Okay, so here we go with the Imaginite chest. It bounces for some reason. Imaginite has a life of its own, and here we are exploding it. That is a very ethical grey area, to say the least. So we have a monster sword, which is a duplicate, boosts the stats, and we do. It's just a shame that it's not for weaponry we're using on high noon over here, because it would be great for his stats to be boosted. But yes, the grand majority of these parts are going to be unlocked already because of the work we put in during the Soul Seeker series. But that being said, we have completed the speedrun. This was a pretty successful run of level, if I do say so myself. With that being done, I will see you at the Mushroom River. Boom. Okay then everyone, welcome to the Mushroom River where air is stronger here. So we've already introduced 2 of our brand new cast members as determined by a random name picker. Let's go ahead and introduce another one, Thunderbolt. Purely because this might be an air section and this might be a Skylander from one of the previous 5 games. But Thunderbolt is one of those characters I mentioned previously who is still seriously busted. Like, yes. Wow, that's cool. Very cool. Get him! Get him some more! Oh, that cloud ricocheted away it shouldn't have. But you know what? This is fine. Boom! Jump and attack for the win. Those guys didn't stand a chance. So now some mushrooms are going to spawn, and what we can do after said things have concluded is that we can enter into this section because off camera, completing the academy is not the only activity I conducted. We also learnt how to play Creation Clash, so we can go on ahead and thrash this guy's ass. Buddy did not see it come in. He might be a buddy, but he's no buddy of mine. So, without further ado, let's take Dr. Creation. Now, one thing this game does do at Nightmare difficulties that it makes Creation Clash slightly harder. It is still designed for 3-year-olds, so I shouldn't struggle that much. But yes, it is harder all the same. I can't wait to be absolutely annihilated myself after having just said that. That was a very stupid thing for me to say. At least now I can't take back Airstrike, but he can take my reaction. Okay, what's the best strategy here? Because if the only stone that can take Chompy Mage is Kingpin, but then they'll just take this stone right back again. In fact, even if I use it to take Flare, we'll just take the stone right back. So what we'll do instead, let's play Typool here. Let's bait either Barbella or Pinata. Oh, we baited him. We baited him good. Because now we can take this. And there's nothing that Pinata can do about it. Boom, we win 5-4. It's still incredibly easy when you know what stones you're up against. So chest has been added to Vault. That's sweet. We're not going to worry about that right now. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to head on out here. And there is a brand new mechanic in this game. And I don't say Creation Clash is a new mechanic. It is glorified Sky Stones. In fact, it's played the exact same way as it was all the way back in Giants, except from this time you see the opponent's stones. It's a watered down version of Giants Sky Stones. But this is a new mechanic I was referring to, the Crane game. Oh yeah, that's some Igknight eggs right there, which when you gather them all, you get a chest added to the vault. Now we could take advantage of that silver spot right there, but you know what? I don't wanna. No, I don't. Let's pop up. There is some more hidden goodies along the way, including a treasure chest. Because you know what? 3 of those in this episode already. That's not enough treasure chests, bro. We need more. What do you know? So we've gotten so many treasure chests, in fact, that now Thunderbolt is completely maxed out. And we even unlocked a Brawler selfie frame for the first time. Those selfie frames give characters of that corresponding battle class additional power, but unfortunately we have no brawling battle class characters to take advantage of said buff. But what we do have, on the other hand, is a Whamshell. Not quite as great as a brawler character, but for now, since seeing as element of the area is water, he will have to suffice. We're playing as Whamshell now because we're never going to use him again throughout this playthrough, unless we have to, unless all the other water Skylanders die, therefore forcing us to use Whamshell. Otherwise, we have no reason to use him because he is useless. So because of how not useful he's going to be throughout this playthrough, I figure we might as well play him now for an opportunity we will have to do so, rather than risk playing as him later, where he will no doubt wind up dead. That is what he does best. Oh wait, I have knockback! Why did I use this before? Oh, never mind, he's dead, so I don't need to eat him off the edge to kill him more quickly. Eruptor, shut up! Nobody cares! You aren't even a Skylander in the main playthrough. In fact, Spyro and Jetpack are the only NPC Skylanders that have been part of the main playthrough, both of which are still kicking to this day. We have 3 versions of Hurricane, well, not Hurricane Jetpack specifically, we have 3 versions of Jetpack to go because the Hurricane version got carried over from Superchargers. So that's 3 versions of Jetpack, and then we have the 1 version of Spyro left, Spry. Oh boy, we might lose Whamshot already. You can't even get through the 2nd chapter of the game. No wonder why I'm calling him useless. Okay, take out projectile dudes. Yeah, those huts are a lot more threatening than you'd expect. Their health bar is quite chunky here in Nightmare mode, and it's not exactly like this guy is a heavy hitter, especially not compared to senseis and things. Actually, I'll take it back. This guy is doing some damage. There we go. We got there eventually. He was useless without the elemental buff, apparently. So here we go. Undead is stronger here. It's time for yet another one of our newcomers, Hex, because apparently the undead element, it's impossible to get Skylanders outside of Spyro's Adventure or a Trap Team. The same goes for Magic. For some reason, Random Name Picker just couldn't pick Skylanders outside of Spyro's Adventure and Trap Team for both the Magic and undead elements. Hex is only level 12. Oh boy. Let's hope we level her up quick then. Die, 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 die. Take these to a face. Wow, those take forever to spawn in. Oh, but they have knockback. Oh, knockback is our saviour in this game. Knockback is the most busted ability. I'd rather have good knockback over good damage. That's how busted knockback is. Not only in this game, but in Skylanders in general. Like, at the end of the day, put enemies through a stun loop because your knockback attacks generally have no cooldown besides the cooldown of the attack in of itself. Just looping enemies through constant knockback, that is the way to go about it. Okay, let's skip over this unnecessary Ape Stew, best button video game. Boom! Bone Wolves! Wow, they're actually doing something. Hex is actually doing something. This is great. Die, 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 die. You see, it takes forever to actually charge her score rain, but then it comes down ever so quickly. Oh, this! I have the oh no, my winning strategy is gone. Okay, here we go. That's better. I can bring back my winning strategy again. I like this. This is fun. At least for me it is. Unfortunately, this guy has a lot of health, so taking him down is going to be a slow and steady endeavour, it seems. Okay, I need my wall up again. I said I need my wall up again. Thank you, we got there eventually. Oh boy, watch out for the shock. The shocky thing in the bob. Oh, he's still going to do it? Oh, luckily that's what I have armor for. Thank you! Armor, our saviour right now. Well, at least the Bone Wall can keep him at bay whilst I escape with my school rain. Boom! Stay at bay. You can't get me, you can't get me. Ha 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 ha. I shouldn't have told him like this. Oh, but I did, and we even got a Imaginite chest for it. Oh. Don't play well, play smart. That's my advice going into Imaginators, especially given that our entire cast, except for our Dark Creation Crystal, is characters from previous games, including Astroblast, which means that because the Sensei element is going to pop up later and we have no Sensei to swap out for, Astroblast is going to have to survive all the way up to the life section of the level. We might just lose a Skylander in the first episode of Imaginators. We might just. We're about to find out. Okay, I don't like how much he jumps. Because of that, he actually moves forward more than you expect him to. Oh, but I do like this range right now. And it seems as though his gun actually fires off much quicker than it used to in Supercharger. This might be one of the only characters that got better rather than worse. But yeah, this combat is completely skippable. So once again, we're going to play smart, not dumb. And the smart thing to do there is just bypass that gameplay. And any gameplay which is possible to bypass, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. That is the best strategy. Boom! Okay, that did next to nothing. Thank you for nothing, you useless nothing, I guess. Charge! Ow. Okay, that was a lot of damage. One more hit and I'm dead. Just like that. Okay, let's try to do something with this, which involves not dying. Can you guys do me a favour and die a little bit more quickly? That'd be great. Especially since I can't take any more damage from you guys. Oh, thank you, meteorite. Let's try to all over again. Oh, and a pretzel. I needed that. 308 health, and that's more or less half our health bar because Astroblast has many things, but health is not one of them. Senseis are stronger. We have no stronger Senseis to swap out for because a random name picker hates us. We got pretty close with fire and water, and then all the other elements were just like, nah. You need Senseis. We're not going to give you Senseis. Oh, that was such a dumb thing to take damage to. But as we've learned from Hex already, these things have so much health. We've really got to take down the other projectile dudes. They're definitely a much bigger threat right now, even though it is the big caterpillar dude that did just hit us. So is he really that much a threat? Oh boy, but now we no longer have buffed up attacks because the light element is no longer stronger here. So we have to do this, put the far more difficult version of it. But let's try not to get hit by those because that's an instant kill. In fact, I think if pretty much anything hits us, it's death. Sweet glorious death. Oh, pretzel! Thank you, video game. I needed that. I think we can even take a hit from the caterpillar now. Not that I, really want to do that. That would be a not very wise decision, taking a hit from the caterpillar. Okay, cool. We now have our disco ball, which did basically nothing. Okay, watch out because that guy, the shockwave up close, also deals damage. But we got him eventually. Eventually is what counts. So let's go on ahead and claim ourselves some ultimate kill. Zeus shoulders. Oh, they look like they would suit my imaginator quite well indeed. Oh, isn't it a shame? You can't tackle a Sensei Gong without a Sensei. Oh, that's just too bad, because usually when I do locks in this game, if Senseis are available to us, I like tackling the Battle Gongs as an additional challenge, a double challenge. This time around, though, I can't make that part of a challenge because there's no means on which to access them. Thank you for nothing, you use this random name picker. So I suppose not getting any Senseis from random name picker is sort of a blessing in disguise. Okay, here we go, let's take him out. Oh, I am so glad that the Sensei rounds in the next episode are ones that I can at least stand playing through, because the fire and water rounds are not that bad. Unfortunately, we might lose some characters along the way because they are combat heavy rounds. In fact, we might lose Dark Spitfire instantly to the fucking fire element of all things, which will mean we'll no longer have access to a fire element. Oh man, I think this Locke has definitely proven that fire and undead have the hardest sections of any Skylanders game. Especially Trap Team is unforgiving towards the undead element. If the undead element never pops up in that game, and the only times it does is for when you have the hardest sections of the game to have to deal with. But then again, that's because the undead element in Trap Team, at least in terms of the red bases, is so fucking busted. Batsman, Bunny Bone, frame rate drops, of course, but Crypt King and Shortcut, they all have one thing in common, and that is being a badass. Fire is also very good in that game. That's just because fire is good in every game. Anyone would think I have a little tad bit of bias towards the fire element. And even saying that, Kaboom is the worst Skylander to come out of that game. And Kaboom is still good. So how good does that tell you how good the Trap Team cast is? Boom! Oh, that did nothing. Okay, take him out. Zap, 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 zap. His projectile fires off with a much more high rate of fire than I remember. Perhaps he's been upgraded since I used him last. But then again, I don't use him very much in Superchargers because the light element did not appear much throughout our playthrough. I can't say it didn't appear much throughout the game because Superchargers is for one instance where obviously whatever element comes up is based solely on random chance rather than it being part of the level design in and of itself. Like here, this is going to be life every time because it's based on the design of a level. So yes, every playthrough of Superchargers is unique, and that does add a lot of replayability to it. Again, it's what leads Superchargers to be the objectively best made Skylanders game. When you look at it objectively, it's certainly not the best Skylanders game because it's not the most fun. But that's why I said earlier, if what you're looking for in a game, if something like storytelling is more important to you, then Superchargers is going to be very top of your list. Same goes for music. Superchargers is incredible music, incredible level design. In fact, its character designs are also really unique, and they all share a theme. Skylanders from different elements have similar theme, and it's one of the only, well, I would say it is arguably the only Skylanders game that does that. Of course, this game has something similar with a battle class system, so even though the Skylanders are of different elements, they share the same weaponry as one another. And then Swap Force has the swap skills, so I suppose, if they all fall under a certain theme. But then again, gimmick landers in general, like no matter what element you're looking at, they all share a theme. And all of the giants are giant, all of the Trap Masters have Traptanium weapons. Need I go on? Yes, I find it funny how there's 4 sword Trap Masters. 4! Apparently not other swords because they made a whole battle class thing around swords in this game, but I do wish this game had more inventive battle classes. Like Ninja and Swashbuckler are really the only like unique battle classes, and the fact that obviously Swashbucklers have the tails and then Ninjas don't have a body. But I wish we had more experimental battle classes like anthropomorphic battle class. I hope I'm saying that well. Well, I hope I'm using the right word. I'm definitely not using the correct pronunciation, but I hope I'm using the correct word. Where, of course, the Skylanders ultimate battle class would be on all 4 legs rather than having 2 arms, 2 legs. They walk on all 4s. That would be cool. Perhaps that could be the Dragon class, or they walk on all 4s and they have wings as well as a backpack potentially, because you can make your Imaginator have wings through the backpack system. My guy here has a backpack of his own, but it's a cape because he's a bounty hunter, but a hero bounty hunter. Very Robin Hood, Star Wars inspired, but he's also a scarecrow, hence why he has the scarecrow ears and the hay bale arms, and then he has an equestrian torso and equestrian leg guards because he was a scarecrow decked out by a Skylanders famous equestrian rider, or I should say horseback rider, because equestrian is horse riding. There we go, let's take him out. I mean, a quick shot against a brawler. This is unbelievably unbalanced, and I'm okay with that. This is me taking out revenge every single time for Doomlander subscribing which is a lot of times, might I remind you, a lot of times. I want you deaf. I want you deaf. I want you deaf so much right now. What does it look like he's doing? Chaos. Okay, let's take him out some more. Take him out, take him out, take him out some more. Take him out, take him out, take him out some more. Oh yeah. Okay, boom. We're shaking the room if that's the third and final phase has been initiated. Yeah, another awesome battle class. So we talked about the Dragon class, that would be cool. How about a 4-armed class? You know, recreate Slam Bam in this game, recreate Philippine in this game, recreate Starcast in this game, but as an Imaginator. Okay, here we go. Let's take him out. Yes! Oh, dash and uppercut, you say? Well, you're not rather dashing. No, I'm gonna keep hitting it anyway. You know, mainly because I feel like it. Take him out. Okay, here we go, some more. We're getting him, slowly but surely, Weezes. Anyway, I do find it funny how the brawling Doomlander looks a lot more like a ninja Doomlander because he has no body. He's just a brain for some reason. Why not, right? That's the reason. Okay, here we go. Some people ask why. I dare to ask why not. Ow. You know what, that's fine. We looked away for 1 second, we got hit. Against an Imaginator, that doesn't really mean much. So that being said, we're going to skip over all this unnecessary deep steam because at the conclusion of the level, we are going to not only be concluding the level, the episode also shall be concluded on that mark. So here we are, some shoulder guards, stone heroes armor, swashbuckler weapon, and an ultimate piece of gear, Yeah, so mums got louder as they went along, deal with it. It was mighty tough work. So that being said, here we come with the best button video game, first script button. So yes, now that the level has been concluded, without further ado, let's roll that outro. Thank you so much for watching through to the end of this video. I deeply appreciate every last one of you, since it's viewers such as yourself which make these videos possible, and I couldn't do it without all of your unwavering support. If you enjoyed what you just saw, you can click on screen now to watch either my most recent video or a video picked out specifically just for you. You can also access the entire playlist for the video you just watched. I'll be seeing you in the next video, but until that moment arises, peace!